Hey, good evening. Good evening. Tonight we have 8 public hearings on the agenda utilizing the Zoom webinar application. We'll have these applications joining us to present their applications to the board and answer any questions. Following the presentation, we will individually call upon members of the public who have registered to speak regarding this application. Individuals will be promoted from an attendee to a panelist in order to voice their comments. This hearing is also being live streamed on the Town of Babylon YouTube channel. Following the presentation and public comments, the public hearing will be closed. The record for the matter shall be held open for a minimum of 7 days. As long as the record is open, any member of the public who did not register to participate in tonight's Zoom meeting can provide comments on the application by email or regular mail. Okay.
Are you ready for the first application?
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm sorry.
No problem. I have Farah Tursonazad. I'm going to promote her to a panelist right now.
Barry, you're muted. You need to unmute yourself.
Hi, good
Okay, there you go.
evening.
Okay, name and address for the record.
Sarah Tersanzada, 125 Overton Street, Deer Park, New York, 11729.
And do you affirm to tell the truth?
Yes.
For the record, we have a planning division memo dated February 24th, 2022. Environmental control memo dated March 1st, 2022. If approved, this application will not result in significant impact. A survey by Michael Scalise dated May 5th, 2016, showing where the proposed pool is going to go. We have the same survey by Michael Scalise on the same date, 5/5/16. Tax map acting as an area map and
5 photos.
5 photos. Okay. What would you like to tell us about the application?
I am here, thank you for meeting with me this evening. I am here to request permission to increase my total building area from 20% to 24.3% for the erection of a new in-ground pool. This is the only location that I can have it because of the west side rear of my property has a dry well and there's a pipe going across the dry well. So this is the only location for the pool. And it's my hope that the board will approve my application.
Okay, thank you. I'll turn the hearing over to Mr. Correcchia.
Good evening. I noticed on the survey, it shows a 4-foot fence, chain link fence on that west side. But I drove by today and I see that you have PVC 6-foot fencing all around the property. Do you have the necessary gates for the pool gates high up for the releases?
Yes.
Okay. Have you, are you interested in, are you going to install pavers or decking around the pool? Because that would increase the lot coverage even more.
Oh, okay. I was just planning to do around the coping because I didn't want grass to get into the pool. And maybe just a small area for just a table and 4 chairs.
Okay. That would increase the total building area. All right, we may want to see just another site plan showing that. Other than that, the house is beautiful. Everything is in great condition. Mr. Chairman, I have no further questions.
Thank you.
Any other questions from the board? Matt, we have anybody on this?
No, for the record, Mr. Chairman, no one is registered for this application.
So we're going to close the hearing. We're going to reserve decision. We're going to keep the record open for any further comments from anybody. We're also going to keep the record open so that you could supply us with an updated site plan so that we can see exactly what the lot coverage will be when you put pavers or whatever it is you're going to put around the pool. Still on?
Okay, Farah?
Yeah.
Just to show us, just a simple sketch on your site plan, just to show us where the pavers are going to go around the pool.
Okay, no problem.
Okay,
Okay, thank you so much.
thank you.
Yeah. Take care.
Have a good evening.
You too.
The second application, I've promoted Nicole Blanda, the representative for the applicant. This is 2022-010 LSR Property LLC.
Nicole, you're muted.
Sorry, I'm trying to remember how to Zoom. Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. For the record, Nicole Blanda. I'm an attorney at Bazell, Blanda and Visconti with offices at 535 Broad Hollow Road in Melville.
Okay. For the record, we have Planning Division memo dated February 24th, 2022. Environmental Control memo dated March 2nd, 2022. A couple of items on here. You have a copy of that?
I have the planning memo. I do not have the environmental memo.
Okay, there's some standard kind of things limiting to some single family use. Trees be removed by somebody who is, works with Asian longhorn beetles. Test board was not provided, so comments with respect to groundwater cannot be provided, and a construction activity agreement.
Okay.
Okay. We have a survey by A. Aglajo Survey Inc. Company. You said December 10th, 2021, tax map acting as an area map. And anything else, Doreen?
Yeah, 2 photos, sorry.
Thank you. That's okay. Thanks. Okay, would you like to tell us about the application?
So I'm here tonight seeking one variance to develop this oversized vacant parcel with a new single-family home. The lot is oversized for the Residence C zone. It has 12,127 square feet, where 7,500 square feet is required. We meet all the setbacks. We're complying with height. The only variance that we require is the width at the front property line. We're required to have 75 feet. And we're proposing 62.59 feet, which is compatible with the surrounding area. If you go, we're on the west side of Mount Avenue. If you go to the north, or if you go a couple of lots to the south, these lots are all deep, but they're narrow. And so on average, they have about 60 feet. Some have 65, but mostly it's around 61, 62, like what we're showing. So again, it's just that single variance. I did go over the covenants and restrictions with my client, and he did want me to ask the board if he wanted the option to go to the rental board to perhaps seek a rental permit. And so the only way that would be possible is if the owner occupied use only covenant was not imposed on this application. So I did say that I would request that and ask the board to consider it. The other thing that I noticed in the memo, the planning memo regarding the driveway, I just wanted to point out, planning staff was asking if we could redesign the driveway. A few things. I don't know if Mr. Esposito, if it's possible to screen share the filed plot plan, just so that the board can see what I'm talking about. But the driveway is under the max paved area allowed by code. So this would be an alternative plan should the zoning board not want the plan that Mr. Esposito is showing now. So if you see, as we look at the front, thank you, you see how the driveway is long. It's the depth of the lot. It was really important to the applicant to provide off-street parking and to provide a separate garage. If we tried to put a garage onto the house, then we wouldn't have been able to meet our side yard setbacks. So by setting the detached garage in a location that conforms to code, we're able to provide that garage in the rear. However, it would be nice to be able to park in front when people want to come in from the rain or come in and bring groceries, things of that nature. And Spaces architects, when they designed it, made sure that we're under the max allowed paved area in the front. We're under the square footage, we're under the percentage. It does not generate a variance. So when I saw the memo today, I took a look on the street photos on Google, and I actually sent those photos to Mr. Esposito. I'm not sure if we're able to screen share those as well, just to kind of give the board. So here's one across the street. You can see the driveway in the front. If we scroll down, you'll see other photos as well. These are all on Mount Avenue. So this driveway right here, it does something similar. And there's a lot of properties on Mount that are doing this with their driveways. If we scroll down even further, I have a feeling it's to allow cars to make a turn. See, look here. I mean, the whole front is basically paved, and we're not asking to do that. But I think it's to allow cars to be able to come out head on to Mount for a safer exit rather than pulling out onto Mount Avenue. Again, we're not asking to do more than what's allowed by code. We're not asking to do anything that's not already being done on Mount Avenue currently, as I think the board can see from these photos. So we would just ask for that consideration if we could keep our plan the way we have filed it. If not, we did make a quick new plan just to show it without the front driveway, because we are looking to build a house here and we wouldn't want to not get our variance because of a driveway. But I did think it was important to show the board why we were seeking it the way that we were.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Anything else?
No, I think that pretty much sums up my presentation. Like I said, it's just the single frontage variance, which is an existing condition.
Okay. And you agree to all the covenants, restrictions, and conditions, and you're asking us for relief from the owner occupied use only? So
Correct. We would agree to single family and no accessory apartment and all the others. It's just if the builder wanted the option to have it as a rental, or if a future owner wanted to be able to go to the rental board and have it as a rental, then I wouldn't want to have to come back to this board to ask to have a covenant lifted. I know that this board doesn't really do that. So I'd rather be upfront, and ask for it now. And, what it will be, well, it will be, but I'd rather ask for it now than try to come back later.
You would agree to no accessory apartment if it was lifted?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. This is solely to do with owner occupation.
So they'd have to rent the whole house, in other words, and that would be the thing. No accessory, no two family, none of that kind of stuff. It would still be the same amount of occupants basically as if it was owned, or same floor plans and stuff like that. So
Correct. It would be like any other homeowner who maybe didn't come for a variance and didn't have this restriction. They could go apply to the rental board and apply for their rental permit and rent their house out as the owner of that house. Yes, but not,
Right,
it would not be two family.
Okay.
all right, I have no further questions. Any other questions from the board? Matt, we have anybody on this one?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, we have a number of people registered, the first of which I believe is Andre and Hicksford Allen. I'm going to promote them to a panelist right now. I'm trying to promote Andre. I don't know if they have to click accept or not, but I'm going to move on to the next person. And if they wish to speak or not speak, if they could just send me a chat, but I'll move on to the next registered participant, Pastor Queensborough. I'm going to promote him to a panelist right now. And I'll just ask that you unmute yourself so that you can address the board.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. I need your name and address for the record, please.
Richard Queensborough, 804 Mount Avenue,
Okay.
Wyandotte, New York, 11798.
What would you like to tell us about the application?
There are a few concerns that I have. The first issue is with respect to the common boundary line. The applicant is seeking to increase the land area as part of the application, and we believe that's a title issue, and they are increase the area which is taking up portions of 804 Mount Avenue property.
Not according to the survey. The survey shows that they are within the bounds of their property, not on anybody else's line.
It was a matter in dispute with the previous owner. What happened was our attorney passed away. We were working on some form of resolution to this matter, and due to the passing of our attorney during the COVID, that's why we did not get to resolve this issue before coming to this board.
Okay. I'll ask Ms. Blander about that, after anybody else speaks. Do you have any other concerns besides that?
The subject driveway was part of as I said, part of the 804 Mount Avenue property. When the fencing was removed, that's when, so as it stands now, the 804 Mount Avenue property has no driveway, which if we need to do anything like that, we'd have to come to this board. So that's why we were trying to resolve the matter before coming to the board.
So you're saying the proposed driveway is not part of this property?
No, I think a part of that driveway is part of 804 Mount Avenue property.
Okay. Next door. Okay, gotcha. Okay, anything else?
No, that was the main concern.
No, okay, very good. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Matt, anybody else?
Yes, next up I have Rita Vassal. I'll promote to a panelist. Rita, I just asked that you unmute yourself so that you can address the board.
Good evening to everyone.
Good evening. I need your name and address for the record, please.
I'm Rita Vassell. A member of Untitled Church, a part of 804 Mount Avenue, Wyandotte, New York, 11798.
Okay, and do you affirm to tell the truth?
Yes.
What would you like to tell us about the application?
Yes, I was there when the property was bought, 804 Mount Avenue, and we had the driveway until our neighbor dropped their fence right up on our step on the driveway. So their fence is right on the step of 804 back door. So we would like this issue to be resolved first.
Okay. Okay, anything else?
No, that's my main concern.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for coming in, trying to figure this out.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? Matt?
Just double checking. I had Andre Allen, but he seems to have signed off.
Okay,
And I had Geraldine Queensborough. I don't see her on there. I don't know if her husband spoke for Pastor Queensborough, so I do not see anyone else in the waiting room.
okay, thanks. Ms. Blanda?
Yes.
So what's going on?
So I'm
What's going on
looking-
with this boundary?
I mean, I have a guaranteed survey showing the property lines as you see, and I have a deed with First American Title ensuring the description. So I didn't handle the transaction. So I don't know if there is what the history might be here, but as far as I can tell based on the documents in front of me, we have, our lot is, 62.59 feet at the front. It runs 221.96, 62.29, then it runs 195.55. So, and I'm not seeing encroachments on this survey. So I can't really speak to the questions that have been raised. I'll certainly discuss them with my client, but I'm not seeing the title issue that has been raised.
Okay, so you're gonna look into this, we're gonna hold the record open anyway, but, get back to
Sure.
us, and also probably be helpful if you got with the neighbor next door to, kind of square this away with them.
Sure. What I'll do is I'll pull the title insurance policy because the title company would have insured the four corners of the property for my client. So I'll have that pulled and then maybe we can meet with the neighbor.
That'd be great, just so we can, put it to bed. That'd be very good. All right.
Sure.
Thank you. Thanks for coming in. We're gonna close the hearing, reserve decision, keep the record open for at least 1 week and possibly longer while we look into the boundary line on the one side there. West side, I think that is, right? West side is where the 804 is.
It might be the south side, I guess, right? Is that south or the north side? I'm not really.
Where are we? Where's the
Either
north?
way.
Oh,
Yeah.
south side. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good night, everybody.
You too.
Good night.
Good night.
Next application is 22-016, 48 and 50 Grant Holding LLC. I've promoted Brooke Richards to panelist. Just ask that they unmute themselves.
Okay, can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can. Need your name and address for the record, please.
Brooke Richards, live at 29 Jackson Avenue West in Babylon, New York.
Okay, and you affirm to tell the truth.
I'm so, 1 second, I'm audio issues. Okay.
Do you affirm to tell the truth?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. For the record, we have a planning division memo dated February 24th, 2022. Environmental control memo dated March 2nd, 2022. There's a number of issues on here, but one of them is that the lower level be limited to parking access only. So this house is being raised.
No, so this is a ground up construction. So just, this is for 48 and 50 Grant Avenue West.
Grant Avenue Holding, 48 and 50 Grant Avenue Holding. Okay. So it's not being raised, the house is not being raised?
No, this is new construction.
Mickey, it's a new house, but it's in the flood zone, so it'll be elevated to flood code.
Okay. So that, what we would ask if we were to approve it is that lower level be limited to parking or storage.
Yes, that's
That's in focus.
the intent. So there's going to be a garage to the east of the property, and then the remainder of underneath the house is just going to be left as storage.
Okay, very good. I have a Suffolk County Planning Memo dated February 15, 2022, decision on local determination. Take no position for or against. I have a site plan by Andres. I'll spell it.
Yeah.
Letkovsky.
Yes, that's our architect. Yes.
December 29, 2021. Second page of that same site plan. Tax map acting as an area map, and
We have 2 photos.
Just let this part go and click on that.
would you like to tell us about the application?
Yes, so my husband and I are building this house for my parents to move into. And, you know, through COVID and everything, we have 2 little kids and they help out a lot. So we're looking to move them closer to us. So, you know, ideally we're building, you know, a ranch style house for them with an attic, and looking forward to having babysitters closer by. So there's a couple of so there are a couple of things. I don't know where you want me to start, but
Wherever you want to start, go ahead.
Mr. Chairman, if I could just interject for 1 second. The architect is on the line as well. I think he was having trouble connecting, but Andreas Letkovsky is here as well.
Hi, I'm the project architect. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes.
Need your name and address for the record, please.
Yeah, Andreas Letkovsky, New York State licensed architect. Address is 91-101 Broadway in Greenlawn.
Okay. And do you affirm to tell the truth?
I certainly do.
Okay. So are you going to continue with the hearing, or?
Yeah, basically I'd like to you know, address the board, just take a few minutes of your time and give you some specifics in the planning. You know, we recognize that the, you know, board has to, you know, follow its due diligence, but we've made, you know, every effort on our part to try to, you know, minimize the, you know, the variances listed. And to that end, the major decision in citing this house was really, you know, we could cite the house appropriately and avoid most of the zoning variance requirements. The problem was when we added the deck, you know, facing the south, and that's what bumped up our gross square foot area. And, you know, that was one of the issues that, you know, is bringing us, you know, before you now. When I was planning this house, I've had a few meetings with Kate, who I know is no longer with the department. And she suggested, you know, we look at the, you know, average front yard setback relationship among West Grant Avenue. And we, of course, are way at the end of the block. But we are, you know, very much, you know, at least the, you know, the building line is very much in harmony with the average front yard setback. So from the, you know, 5 houses that we looked at, the smallest distances of the neighbors were 16.5 and 17 foot respectively. Our dwelling is at 22.9 feet. And it's really only a very minimalistic stoop and entry stair that brings the front line setback to 19.3. The room sizes inside the house are, you know, very normal, very proportionate. There are no, you know, tremendous overly sized rooms in here that are, you know, unrealistically, you know, increasing the square foot area of the house. And, you know, the square foot area of the house, as I mentioned, is, you know, less than the 2,000 square foot that were allowed. And that's essentially the other issue that I want to bring to your attention is the potential for the amount of square foot area of water permeable paving in terms of the driveway. So this site has 2 existing curb cuts that we really would like to utilize, both of these to keep cars off the street. I know we all know it's a problem in this neighborhood, and we're at the end of the block, so we can't even really park our car further because we'd be in the water. But one of the things that we are doing to help the application is the site plan is showing a gravelled area to the northwest corner of the lot. We're proposing removing that. And hopefully that square foot area will allow us to create this U-shaped semi-paved driveway.
Are you proposing to pave that?
Well, no, with rain permeable blocks that allow the water to go through. It won't be asphalt paving.
It'll be predominantly like the regular gravel with like pavers just to keep the rocks from going into the street and whatnot.
Border.
Okay.
Is that what you're saying, like a border?
Yeah, so there's I don't know if I could show a picture, but there would be there are these pavers that are like Z-shaped, and it just helps keep the gravel in place rather than going into the street or onto the grass, but is predominantly gravel.
So, okay, so the water can run off, in other words. So,
Yes.
okay.
And that area would be fenced in? That gravel area?
No, this is for so there is an existing gravel area today that we would remove. And so the gravel we're talking about today is part of the driveway.
Okay.
But so it's in the front of the house. There's a fence there today,
Okay.
but that will come down once the house is there. And
so, Mr. Chairman, do we need an updated site plan for this with the different lot area if they're removing that, or no?
I don't believe so, but I'm going to defer to Rich on that.
Yeah, we'll need an updated site plan showing what they are proposing.
We will.
Yeah, if I could add, we did get a letter from the, Mr. Esposito, planner, regarding some specifics that he wanted included on the site plan. And in particular, we were ordered to look at the location of the drainage system, which we originally had located in the northwest corner, that it's been suggested we'll need to relocate that to better coordinate with the setbacks required for the below grade septic system. So we'll be reissuing an updated site plan.
Okay, so then you can incorporate this into this, the driveway part into the new site.
Yeah,
plan.
so the other thing is, what influences the siting of the house. A lot of thought has gone into this, and it's not arbitrary. There might be a future swimming pool proposed here down the road. That's why this house is sort of shifted northwards. So that's another thing. But we would like to maintain the crescent-shaped driveway and add that to the list of items. And I don't know if you have any other questions you'd like to.
Ms. McCullough?
Yes. So I don't think we spoke about the covenants and restrictions of this being owner occupied, no accessory apartments, things of that nature. You guys agree to that?
So the one concern I do have is that my husband and I own the house, and technically it'll be my parents living there. So I don't know. I don't know if that's a technicality. I don't know exactly what the definition of owner occupied is. So like that's the only thing is the intent is for my parents to live there, but we own the property. So
You own the property or you own the house? You're gonna own the house? Is the
we're
house
gonna
gonna be
own
deeded?
everything. Yes. Yes.
Okay,
My
so then-
husband and
then-
I will own everything.
So then owner occupied is a problem.
Yeah, it's a problem.
Yes.
You have to put them on the deed.
But for estate planning purposes, we would prefer not to do that.
Okay.
And then the other covenant and restriction I saw on there was regarding a side deck. And under normal, I think it's item 10, and under normal circumstances where you have two neighbors, I get that. On the west side of the property, there are no neighbors. There's a canal there and open marsh. So we would like to put a side deck off of one of the bedrooms.
Which is proposed.
It's in the proposed plans.
Second floor, you're
Oh,
referring to.
no. It's
First floor?
on the main, yeah, it's on the main
Oh,
level.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But so it's just, I think it was item 10 on the covenants and restrictions. It says no side yard decks.
Correct. But this is gonna be a first story deck. It's not a second story deck.
Correct.
Okay.
Okay. All right, I have no further questions.
Any other questions from the board? I think I need to do a little housekeeping here on variance number 2. I need to amend that to read diminished total side yards from 30 to 26, not 23.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, Matt, we have anybody on this one?
Yes, we do have one neighbor registered, but I do not see them in the waiting room. Daniel Thieleman, I don't see him listed. You could raise your hand or send a chat, but I believe the record will remain
The
open.
record's open anyway, yep. So, okay, I'm gonna close the hearing, reserve decision, keep the record open for at least 1 week. You were gonna get back to us with an updated site plan for a couple of items there. And thanks for coming in.
Thank
Very
you.
much for hearing us. Thank you.
And you guys can't hear anything I'm saying, sorry. Application 22-011, Marcin Zawinski. I just promoted him to a panelist. And I'll ask that he unmutes himself to address the board.
Washington, you need to unmute yourself.
Good evening. My name is Marcin Czerwiński. I'm living in 16 Shirley Lane, West Babylon. Are you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Do you affirm to tell the truth?
Uh,
Do you
We
affirm
want-
to tell, you affirm to tell the truth? Can you hear me?
Yes, I have bad connection. Yeah. Can you repeat?
Okay, so I have your name and address for the record. I just need to know, do you affirm to tell the truth?
We would like to build attached garage to my house.
I'll take that
And
as a
we need
yes.
to,
Pravda, truth.
and we have to diminish the north side yard from 12 feet to 6.3. That's and we want to do the second story on the garage. We like to do another bedroom, master bedroom, on the garage. That's why we need the permission. We want to increase building area from 20% to 32.6. Also, we want to do the roof on existing deck, on the rear existing deck, and we want to rebuild the front porch.
Okay, I want to read into the record some information we have here. We have a planning division memo dated February 24th, 2022. Environmental control memo dated March 1st, 2022. The subject site abuts regulated freshwater wetlands along its rear property boundary. The applicant should ascertain if New York State DEC would require a freshwater wetlands permit for this proposal. This is something you need to look into as far as the proposal for a wetlands permit. Okay? Okay. Suffolk County Planning Memo dated February 16th, 2022, decision on local determination. Take no position for or against. A survey by Razam Ali, dated September 20th, 2021. Tax map acting as an area map. Okay, anything else?
And 7 photos.
Okay. Okay, so do you have anything else that you want to tell us about the application?
Not really. No.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to turn the hearing over to Ms. McCullough.
Okay, so the addition is mainly for a master bedroom expansion?
Yes. Yes. Will be garage, and on the garage, second story will be master bedroom.
Okay, are you planning on selling the house or this is just for you guys?
No. No, we live on the dead end street, and this is last house. This is great location, and we need the bigger house because my wife is pregnant, and that's why we need bigger house.
Okay, and this isn't
Also,
serving as, go ahead.
Also, garage. I need garage.
You need garage?
Yes.
Okay, this isn't serving as an accessory apartment, correct?
No apartment.
No living space for the garage either?
No. I'm the contractor. That's why I need the garage for my tools.
Okay, that makes sense. All right, so it looks like the total building area is over 1,400 square feet. Is there anything that you can do to decrease that? Maybe eliminate some pavers or any of your accessory structures in the rear or on the property?
And we're gonna demo because I have oversight shed on my property. I'm gonna demo that shed because if I'm gonna build a garage, I don't need any more shed. That's why. And on the right side of the house, I have walkway. I'm gonna eliminate this walkway because on garage. That's why it will be little less.
Okay. And if we were to approve this application, do you agree to not further enclose the front or rear deck?
Can you repeat?
If we approve this application, do you agree to not further enclose the front or rear deck? You won't close them up. They will be open and accessible.
I want to do the roof over deck because it's
Roof
too
over,
much
but
sun.
no walls.
No walls,
No,
just a
no,
roof.
no, no walls,
Okay.
no walls.
Okay, I have no further questions.
Any other questions from the board?
Yeah,
Any rec-
Mickey, he's got a basement steps here, bro, roof over the basement steps. What's in the basement, sir?
We have storage over there.
No plumbing, no bathrooms, no kitchens or anything, right?
No kitchen. We have bathroom, but we have to demo this. Because
Okay,
when we
thank you.
bought this house,
We're losing you. We
Yes.
lost you. No, we didn't hear anything. You said when you bought the house? That was the
yeah,
last-
it was bathroom downstairs. That's we keep at this, and we will use the basement for storage.
Thank you.
Basement is shown-
Because we have on this side we have pool.
The basement is shown on the plans as finished to be demoed.
To be demoed.
Yes.
So
Demo
are you going to demo the basement?
Yes.
Okay.
Can you just address the bathroom in the garage with no access into the main house?
No, because I want to make only for outside, like I'm gonna for people who's gonna come to the pool. That's why I need to make the half bathroom.
On the survey.
It is. There's going to be a bathroom in the garage that you're building?
Yes, will be half bathroom, but the door will be only from outside. Just like
You
from
won't be able to go into
from
the bathroom.
outside.
You won't be able to use this bathroom from the garage. It's only to go to the outside.
Yes, from the outside.
Okay.
If we're gonna sit on the outside, that's why I want to use this bathroom. I don't want somebody come to my house to use my private bathroom.
Okay. That makes sense.
Mr. Chairman, that is noted in the planning memorandum in the second paragraph. Should be noted that the new bathroom on the first floor can only be accessed from the rear yard. There is no internal access from the garage.
Yes, correct. Only from rear yard.
Okay. Thank you. Ms. McCullough, anything else?
No, that is all. No further questions.
So if you're going to take down that, I guess a shed, very large shed in the back. So we have to recalculate the building area? Rich?
That shed will be removed.
Right. Rich, do we need to recalculate that, right?
Yes, we will need to recalculate. Well, he has it shown on the plans as demo existing shed, so I have to take a look at the drawing to see if those, I did not do this denial. So I would have to calculate to see if it was added in or not.
Okay, so that's something we can follow up with.
It doesn't appear that it would be.
Okay. All right, thanks. Okay, we're going to close the hearing. We're gonna-
Mr. Chairman, we do have
I'm sorry.
members of the public registered for this one.
Okay.
I'm going to bring in the first. We have Sean McLaughlin.
Okay.
I'm going to promote him to a panelist right now. I'll just ask that you unmute yourself so that you can address the board.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Sean McLaughlin. My address is, excuse me, 33 Karen Street. West Babylon, New York, 11704.
Okay, do you affirm to tell the truth?
Yes, I do.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Go ahead.
So my yard backs into into 16 Shirley Lane. So I guess I'm looking at a Google map and I'm just a little confused. Are they proposed? So he proposed that the shed is going to come down and that a garage is going to go up there and a second story is going to be built on that side?
Where are you located?
I'm on 33 Karen Street in West Babylon. So my yard backs up into their yard.
Located on the south side of the subject property.
Yes, located on the south side, correct.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Rich. I believe the addition of the garage is on the north side of the
Second
home.
story addition is on the north side of the property.
Okay. Okay.
Other.
Okay, because I misunderstood when he's saying he's taking down the shed. I don't understand why that's being taken down and what might be going there. That's what's confusing.
Yeah, no, there's nothing going there. It's going.
Okay.
That's and you're on the side where the pool is then.
Yes, correct. Correct.
So it's the other side.
Correct. Okay. Correct. If it's going to the north side, that's not a problem at all.
Okay.
Sorry for any confusion. It's been a long week.
Yeah.
No problem. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Matt, we have others?
Yes, we have one more. James and Julianne Nolan. I'm going to promote them to a panelist right now. I'll just ask that you guys unmute yourselves so that you can address the board.
Hi, good evening.
Need your name and address for the record, please.
Julianne Nolan, 31 Karen Street, West Babylon, New York, 11704.
Okay, I do affirm to tell the truth.
I do.
Okay, what would you like to tell us?
So again, we adjoin boundary lines with Sean McLaughlin. So the back of our yard also is on that pool side. And we were a little concerned about the garage also, but not realizing because they have a shed and kind of like a garage. So now I do understand the garage they're referring to on the north side and not the shed directly behind ours. But the paperwork, his actual application is making reference to covered porches. And it's a little different than what's outlined in the actual agenda for tonight. I think it's kind of conflicting, or maybe something is, I don't know, it's a little confusing.
So
he has proposed a two-story deck and covered deck, demolish existing covered porch and rebuild new covered porch. It just seems like he's changing the footprint of the property.
he's changing, the front porch is existing, I believe. You know, I'm at a loss. Rich, can you
The
just
front
weigh
porch
in
is
on this?
existing.
I don't have the plans, so it's like,
Is there any way of sharing the site plan on this?
Can you bring it up, Matt?
I do not have electronic copies of the plans now.
And when this neighbor did work on his pool and the retaining wall, which I don't know if that's going to be affected now again, that created major flooding in my backyard and the McLaughlin backyard. Major flooding. Every time it rains heavily, 3/4 of my backyard is flooded. And it didn't used to be this way before that retaining wall went up. So I don't know what he's doing with diminishing the rear yard setback from 40 feet to 22.5.
22.5 is diminishing from the proposed roofed over rear deck to the closest rear corner of the property line. This is kind of an odd shaped property.
It is, yes, it is. It's a large size property also.
That setback, Rich, is between the roof over deck and the western property line, which is his rear lot line. That doesn't appear to be, if I could share the screen, I could show the aerial at least.
Yeah, the rear lot line is to poor angles on it. So that setback is showing from the proposed deck to that innermost corner right there. Yes.
So your property is on the dead end of Karen?
Right, we're in the cul-de-sac. So the McLaughlin's is immediately right by their pool, and then that's ours right there that Matt is circling. That's correct.
Okay.
And they do have a gazebo that's up right literally where that arrow is also that Mr. Esposito has. So I didn't know if that was going to change.
None of that's changing. That's
Okay, it's the
They
pergola.
listed it as a
Okay.
pergola. Yeah. They
Right,
listed it.
okay. Mhm.
None of that's changing.
Okay. Okay. I would definitely be interested in reviewing the site plans.
Okay. Can we get a copy out?
Might be easier to pay a visit to the zoning
Yeah,
office.
come into the office.
Sure, I have no problem with that.
Okay, come to the zoning board office then.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. Unfortunately, we're doing these things virtual and makes it a little more difficult.
I certainly understand. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Anybody else, Matt, or that was it?
No, those are the only two registered for this application.
So I'm going to close the hearing, reserve decision, keep the record open for 1 week at least to, for any other comments from anybody. That'll give the neighbor time to go in and take a look at the survey. If you have any further comments, you can get them to us in writing, all right? She may not be hearing me. Okay.
They're still in the waiting room. They can hear you.
Okay, so they can hear me. Okay, great. Perfect then. All right.
Okay, moving along to, I believe item number 5 is adjourned. So moving on to number 6, MG and JV Auto 22-012. I have Kellen Velasquez, who I'm promoting to a panelist right now. Kellen, I'll just ask that you unmute yourself so you can address the board.
Hello, my name is Kellen Velasquez. Can you guys hear me all right?
Yes, we can.
Okay, great.
Okay, need your name and address for the record, please.
Yes, Kellen Velasquez. My home address is 280 East John Street in Lindenhurst, New York, 11798, but I'm currently discussing the business at 258 Long Island Avenue in Wyandanch, New York, 11798.
Okay, do you affirm to tell the truth?
Yes, I do.
For the record, we have a planning division memo dated February 24th, 2022. Environmental control memo dated March 2nd, 2022. If approved, this application will not result in significant impacts. A fire marshal's report dated March 3rd, 2022 has a valid permit. We have the tax map acting as an area map. We have a survey by John Robinson dated October 22nd, 2012. We have a site plan by L. Bennett Design dated September 12th, 2018, and
2 photos.
what would you like to tell us about this application?
So I just saw on the memo that you guys would like to discuss the storage of the vehicles not complying with the previously approved site plan, and also the debris that can definitely be cleaned up within the next few days. Considering that was news to me, I was not sure that it was that visible. But I did want to discuss the storage of the vehicles at the front of the lot against a Long Island Avenue. That's temporary during the hours of operation of the business from 8 to 6 o'clock in the afternoon. And then they are stored inside for the night, every night for 6 days of operation of the week. And that's within our fencing. So they are moved outward during hours of operation for sale purposes and displaying that, and then they are parked inside. So they're temporarily outside at the front there against Long Island Avenue on the exterior of our fencing, and then they're brought inside by the afternoon.
They're not stored there overnight. That's what overnight, storage would be overnight.
No, they're not stored there overnight. Like I mentioned before, every afternoon, they are brought inside and are only brought out during hours of operation.
Okay. And so part of the request is for sales, of course, too.
Yes, exactly.
So there's also another one down below there, that the lot be striped per the site plan. Is that possible?
Yes, of course it is.
Okay. Okay. Other than that, I think you're in pretty good shape there, except for that. So
great.
All
I'm
right.
glad to hear.
Any other questions from the board?
Ta łazienka jest z dworu, to też, że ma sens.
Matt, we have anybody on this one? Oh.
No, we do not have anyone. We do not have anyone else registered.
Okay. All right. So we're going to close the hearing, reserve decision. We're going to keep the record open for 1 week in case there are any further comments due to the Zoom meetings, and you'll get the decision in the mail.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. Thanks so much for everything, everybody. Have a great night.
You too. Thanks.
Yep. Take care. Bye.
And item number 7, CBA case 21-134, Flying Horse Trucking. I have Thomas Pericelli, who's been promoted to a panelist.
Good evening.
Good evening. Need your name and address for the record, please.
Yeah. Thomas Persicelli, 2137 Deer Park Avenue, Deer Park, New York. I'm the attorney for the applicant owner, Shen Mao LLC.
Okay, for the record, we have a planning division memo dated February 24th, 2022. We have 2 photographs. DC memo dated March 2nd, 2022. If approved, this application will not result in significant impact. A fire marshal's report dated September 9th, 2021. Recommend approval. Survey by CND Mapping Inc. Dated September 21st, 2018. Tax map acting as an area map.
And 4 photos.
Would you like to tell us about the application?
Yes, the owner purchased this property approximately 3 years ago. When he purchased the property, there was a special exception permit for the same use that we're asking for. And that the prior owner had used this property for that purpose for many, many years, and renewed the permit over the years. And the business that was going on prior to this was repair of commercial and automobiles. My client, the property, the tenant is an affiliated company. It's a trucking business, same ownership. And it's their wish to continue the use. They maintain their vehicles at the property when they're not on the road, and actually repair and maintain them in the garage that's in the building on the property. And they would want to continue that use. Actually, when we filed it, we filed as a renewal. Then we were told there's a change in ownership, so it's basically a new application. They really don't use it as a public garage. They use it for their own purposes. They don't really intend to repair other vehicles, so that's what they're looking to do here.
Okay, thank you. Turn the hearing over to Mr. Correcchio.
Yes, on the planning board would you agree to file the covenants and restrictions for public garage as a new owner?
Yes, I think they would do that, yeah. Although they're not going to be using it for public repairs.
Well, that's just the title they use for auto repair, truck repair. So it is registered as a public garage for auto or truck repair.
That wouldn't be.
So you just have to file the public garage covenants and restrictions. The other thing is the barbed wire around the fencing, around the 6-foot fencing, needs to be either removed or legalized. So you need to file for a permit in the town of Babylon to have barbed wire fencing, or you could remove it, one or the other.
I spoke to my client about that. They put it up there because they were having security issues, and they would like to maintain it, so they'll be filing for a permit.
Okay, that's fine. Mr. Chairman, I have no further questions.
Okay. Any other questions from the board? We have anybody, Matt?
No, we do not, Mr. Chairman.
Great. Okay, thanks for coming down tonight. We're going to close the hearing, reserve decision, keep the record open for 1 week for further comments, and you get the decision in the mail.
Okay, thank you. Have a nice night.
You too, thanks.
I believe item number 8 is also an adjournment, Mr. Chairman.
Right, exactly. I'm sorry, I didn't even announce that. Yep, that's being adjourned to March 31st.
Okay, that brings us to the remainder of the agenda. The first item is a request for renewal. 18261A and B. Property is located in Amityville, and they are looking for their 5th extension of time.
I will make a motion to approve the extension of time on application 18261A and B.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
The next application is 20-169. That is also a request for an extension of time. This property is located in Farmingdale, and they're requesting their 2nd extension of time.
Make a motion to approve extension of time on application 2169 for a period of 6 months.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Moving on, the next application is 21-201. Michael Mara, located in West Babylon. We are still awaiting a new plot plan from this applicant. The next 2 applications are 21-206A and B, the proposed subdivision on Ferndale Court in Copeg. That is awaiting an outcome from the rental board before a decision is made by this board. Moving on to the bottom of page 9, the application is 21-230 Jose Mata, located in West Babylon. There was a request for an interior inspection by code enforcement, and I have not heard an update as to whether that has taken place or not. So we would wait for code enforcement to conduct an inspection and make sure there's no current violations at this location. Moving on to page 10, the application is 21-226 Dominic Panetta, located on Heath Coach Road in Lindenhurst. The board will recall that there were numerous denials recommended from planning. However, there's been testimony received that this is a unique situation at this location. Mr. Normoyle has reached out to the applicant to try to address some of the building and fire code issues. And I understand there's going to be another conversation to ask the applicant to remove the vinyl shed. And if the applicant were willing to do so, it would eliminate the need for variances 6 and 7. So with the board's permission, we will give that another week to allow that conversation to occur.
Sounds good.
Moving on to page 11, the application is 21-237 Patterson Brothers LTD. Property is located in East Farmingdale, and we are also awaiting a new site plan at this location. Moving on to page 12, the application is 21-243 Marie Cardoza, located in Babylon. There have been numerous changes made to these plans. The board will recall this had a number of residents to come out to speak regarding the decking for one, the parking for another. There was confusion at the beginning because originally the application was asking for a use variance. At the presentation, it was corrected. That was not the intention. At this point, there have been such changes to the plans. We're recommending that the applicant withdraw the application at this time and resubmit to allow a new hearing, new posting, and allow comments from the neighbors so that they're commenting on what it is exactly the board is going to be looking at. With the board's permission, we'd like to make that recommendation.
We need a motion on that?
No, I believe we need to ask them to do so.
Okay.
Okay. Moving on to the bottom of page 12, the application was 21-246 DCC Realty LLC. So the board was notified by Division of Code Enforcement that there were 3 violations written at this location. The court date for those violations to be presented is March 11th. So I would ask that the board please continue to hold until the outcome of the court date for the alleged violations.
Sounds like a plan.
Moving on to page 13, the application is 22-009 Darrell Anderson. This property is located in Lindenhurst. These are the applications from our last hearing from February 24th. So planning had recommended that if approved, that a condition be attached that the front porch not be further enclosed. The property is located in Lindenhurst and it's 22-009.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to approve application 22-009 with the condition that the front porch not be further enclosed.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Bottom of page 13, the application is 22-003. This is Caitlin and Michael Luce. This property is located in West Babylon, and planning had recommended that if approved, it be approved with the condition that the front porch not be further enclosed.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to approve application number 22-003 with a condition that the front porch not be further enclosed.
Second.
Favor?
Moving on to page 14, the application is 22-008 Michael Capozzi. So please note that in your correspondence, there is an email from a neighbor who lives across the canal. It's item number 3 in your correspondence. So you will recall they are expressing concerns regarding the application for excessive lot coverage. You'll recall that the applicant last week stated that his wife has allergies that necessitated covering the grass. There was concern from planning about the excessive lot coverage, that it was great for the area. They had also recommended that if approved, there be a condition that if the shed is ever replaced, it be placed in a conforming location. So I would defer to Mr. Delavecchia if he would like time to review the correspondence and perhaps drive by the location.
I went by the location, but you can't see into the backyard, and I didn't see any pictures of it. I think it's best to ask if they can remove some of the pavers
And then, because the pool, it's in a conforming location, but if they get rid of some of the papers, then the lot coverage wouldn't be over by as much.
Very good. We will do that.
Did you read that letter from their neighbor?
Yeah, I did. It doesn't seem like he's the best neighbor to be with.
On both sides.
Yeah, but the other lady never came forward. It's just the one from across the street, so. Because no one spoke on it, correct?
No, we didn't have another.
It's just the one neighbor?
Okay, so we'll reach out to the applicant to ask if there could be some accommodation to that request.
Yeah, great, thank you.
You're welcome. Moving on to the bottom of page 14, the application is 22-006, Jennifer Mayorini. This property is located in West Babylon. This was adjourned at the last meeting, and I believe they're still needing to come back in with some changes. So that will continue to remain adjourned. It may actually need to be re-advertised. Moving on to page 15, the application is 21-235 Curly Belazar. This property is located in Wheatley Heights. The planning memo had raised issues with a second outside entrance. There was also a concern about having owner occupancy, no accessory apartment. And also the board had wanted to see a condition that the basement be used for storage only, no habitable space. And the chairman had requested a condition for Bilco doors only. This was the applicant that stated that she was making the renovations for her parents to live with her.
It's the one with the, what was two basements, but the one basement is just for
storage.
Utilities. Yeah. So. Okay. So I guess we're okay with this.
Again,
Anybody?
if the board were inclined, there are conditions that could be imposed that state owner occupancy, no accessory apartments, the basement is for storage only, no habitable space, and Bilco doors only.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve application 21-235 with the conditions that it be owner occupied, no accessory apartment, the basement only be used for storage, and the entrance or exit to the basement only be with Bilco doors.
Second.
All in favor?
Mr. Chairman, why are we against accessory apartment? I understand you can't have them in the basement, but that's a condition for the entire structure? Or
Yes.
why? Why is that the?
Well, the last hearing, we decided we had a discussion with them about that. And it was just that for their moving their parents in with them and not to make an accessory apartment.
Well, I disagree. Okay, I don't understand. I don't understand why you make somebody prohibit them from having. We want accessory apartments.
Why?
Yes.
That was not the applicant's intention, and I believe there was just a concern that the construction could, or the renovations could lend themselves perhaps then to family use as opposed to free flow throughout with one family occupying the whole house.
They weren't requesting an accessory apartment with the application.
So if this is a condition, then they could never, I mean, theoretically, they could never have an accessory apartment, right?
Correct.
After the parents pass on or move on. Okay.
Yes.
So I'm against that, so I'll vote no.
Okay. Well, in fact, do we have a second on that? I'm sorry.
I second it.
Yeah. Richard.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Mr. Bishop?
Moving on to the bottom of page 15, the application is 22-004 Antonio Santos. This was also adjourned at the last meeting and I believe also may need to be re-advertised. Moving on to page 16, the application is 21-017. This was the application of Thomas Galdano. The board will recall that this was being re-advertised and represented from its first time before the board. And the request is for an accessory building, a garage, 2 bays, to expand the size from 500 square feet to 864 square feet. So there was also a height request from 14 feet to 14.18 inches. And then 2 other variances for rear lot line and north side yard. So planning had noted that it is a request for a substantial size of a garage. The similar applications that were presented are able to be differentiated, as many were existing buildings that occurred before the code change. And I defer to the board if they would like to do a visual inspection. I believe Mr. Shepherd had wanted to view the property as well.
I've seen yeah, I don't know what we want to do with this guy, but he's got the property, but I mean, did he
And it's back-
legalize the garage conversion? I couldn't get that clear last week. He said it was the existing garage, which is attached to the house.
I think the plan was to then convert that to habitable space.
I think the garage is still too big, is what the new garage. My opinion.
It did seem like it was a little over 1,000 before, and he took it down a little bit, but not a lot,
Yeah, he explained that there were other garages that size that were approved, I believe, or that were before the zoning came into effect.
Right.
There was ones that before, but he said there was other ones. There was one that was like 866 that we approved, which I'd like to see that, I'll be honest. He said he submitted that. Am I correct, Pam? Did he say? I thought he said he submitted that.
They're listed on the planning memo, so we can refresh the board's recollection and resend with perhaps some more details on the 3 illustrations that he provided.
Yeah, that would be good, because I'd be surprised if we did, and I don't know where it was, but I mean, anything's possible, I guess. But,
Okay, we'll elaborate on the planning memo for the board's purpose
thank you.
and continue.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on to the bottom of page 16, we have Azumi Best looking to come to West Babylon. And Ms. McCullough had noted that there was some concerns about lighting. There was a neighbor complaint received in correspondence last week. And I believe Ms. McCullough wanted to look at a similar location of this business.
Yeah, I didn't make it there after hours or sundown, so I don't really want to push it for another week. I was fine with him saying that the lights would be off by 9:45 closing time. I do want to eliminate the blue light, so I'm fine with going forward with it.
He said he would eliminate that blue light if we.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one border wasn't gonna be there.
Yeah. So it would just literally be the outline of the name, pretty much. And so I think that's fine. So I will make a motion to approve application number 22-002 with the elimination of the blue light, with the condition of the elimination of the blue light.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. That brings us to our final page. You have your correspondence. Your first is a letter requesting an adjournment on Novak Motors. The second is also a request for an adjournment of Checkpoint Automotive. The third is the email from Mr. Spanjik and Dale Spanjik, neighbors for the Michael Capozzi application. And finally, there's also a public notice from the Village of Babylon advising this board that there is a hearing taking place in the village that is within the town's jurisdiction. It is a proposal to construct a second-story addition and roof over existing deck at a 111 East Shore Drive in Babylon, should this board have an interest in that application. Which brings us to accepting the minutes from February 10th.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to accept the minutes of February 10, 2022.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I have to abstain.
For the board's review are the minutes of February 24th. And finally, if the board has reviewed the findings for Edna McPherson, they are for the board's acceptance tonight. And Mr. Chairman was not here at that meeting, so he would need to abstain from that vote.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to accept the findings of ZBA 21-202 of Edna McPherson.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I'm gonna recuse.
Understood. And Mr. Bishop, I believe you'd be recusing also. Okay, that brings us to the correspondence that continues to remain reserved pending a hearing date from Practical Tactical Arms. And that concludes tonight's agenda.
Good night, everyone.
Hold on. So wait, one more thing before we go. They're planning to have a Saturday meeting on April the 9th for the Tactical Arms place at North Babylon Senior Center. Do we want to have a meeting on the Thursday, the 7th, or do we want to do them all on Saturday the 9th? We'll do all the rest first and then the other thing last.
Might as well do them all together, no?
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
What time is that meeting on Saturday?
Pam?
I don't think it's been scheduled yet, but I think the thought was to have it in the morning.
Okay. That may be an issue for me, but I'll try and get there.
Yeah, do we know, we don't have any idea we have no idea how big the agenda is for that day, because it was quite a circus, the last one we did on Saturday. And
Yeah.
can you remember how long that lasted?
Yeah, quite a while. Yeah, that was the one for Gail Grace.
Might want to do a Thursday and a Saturday.
Do we know? We probably don't know yet, right?
No.
They're
Right,
expecting they're expecting a lot of people on that tactical one too, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Matt was talking about that earlier, Matt.
So it
Yeah,
might
I
be
believe-
like a Grace thing.
Yeah, yes, I believe there are a lot of people. That's why they are pushing for a Saturday meeting to accommodate.
Okay.
So perhaps the board wants to, give an opinion to have everybody give their opinion of what they prefer and the chairman.
Yeah, I mean, we could do that. Who's here? Everybody's here. I mean, I'll go for Saturday. John?
Yeah, I'll work it out. I'll be there.
Okay. John Chapman?
I'd be there Saturday, but are we gonna do the whole agenda or just the big crowd gatherer? You want to do a Thursday and a Saturday or just a Saturday?
Let's just do a Saturday, I think. I mean, you know what? We'll do all the other ones first. And
Okay.
that agenda isn't made up yet, right? Matt, who knows? So maybe we can keep that agenda light.
I don't believe so, but we can make that recommendation to the ZBA office.
Yeah, if we could do that, that would be good. Let's keep it light. We'll do those first and get them out of there right away. Hopefully it's, nothing, no crazy ones on Saturday morning. Let's put them off if we have to. Who else we got? Steve? You're good
Yeah, I'm
with Saturday,
fine.
right?
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Chinese?
What time again?
Why am I guessing early morning's not good for you?
No, I'll be there.
You can't go out Friday nights.
Man, you guys are making it hard for me. I'll be there.
Thank you. Who else? I think that's it.
I'll be
Dave?
Nick, he's in.
He's showing up. I'm not going to be there. That's perfect. All right.
Okay, so we'll do Saturday. We'll keep the agenda light for whatever we would have had on that Thursday night then.
Okay.
All right.